Hey guys, welcome back. We are continuing with hopefully less technical difficulties, less abject failures on my part, all that good stuff. So after the failure of wouldn't say not finding what we were after, but rather finding something unexpected, I think that I'm just going to continue onwards, going to go back to the other side, continue on with the level just to show where my grinding route is going to be. Then we're going to make our way to New Londo. I'm already lost. It's a new record. Not really. I know where I am. I'm in the Duke's archive, of course. And this time, unlike I guess some of the previous episodes, this is going to be with live in-game commentary, so there's going to be a lot less valuable information. And I'm hoping that this actually comes out pretty nicely because I did some work with my mic, got that hopefully a little bit fixed up, almost died, all that good stuff. These chairs, you can roll through most objects in the game that are breakable, but for whatever reason, not those guys. You do have to sort them out. Alright. So now we've got some souls to spend. Going to... I'll split the difference. Seems fine. Just so that way we have a little bit more lenience when we're using heavier crossbows and different armors. So, one of the things that we're going to have to farm after we go through this whole area, which we're not going to do yet because I want to get the lightning javelin, is going to be blue titanite chunks. And the easiest place to do that is going to be in this little courtyard here. We'll wait for this guy, take him out, keep him separated. Over here, they drop a not so subtle hint of what you're going to need in the future. Prism stones. And I'm actually not super confident in my abilities, so those actually might be good. And I suppose that I can actually take this time to get the blue slab as well as hopefully at least one crystal lizard, but we'll see on that. Oh, and actually, before I really get too into it, just wanted to do a quick time check. I know that I've been cutting a few of these a little bit short, so don't want to deprive you guys the full experience here. Alright, that did about half, and did get a stagger in. Okay, yeah, that does half. Okay, so these guys are one of the best places to farm blue titanite. You can also find them over by where the Hydra was that we fought earlier. However, they're in fewer quantities, so it's a little bit more difficult to get a proper farm going. And let's see, these guys give 1,200, which I believe that the other guys only gave like 400 maybe. So we're going to need quite a few of those chunks over the course of this, but won't worry about that. And again, we have our fancy dancy crossbow, so we can do some expert pulling at around the 53-second mark, something like that. I watched a lot of Dota. I have watched a lot of Dota recently. Especially today, I just had it on as kind of background noise while I was working on some other stuff. I need to get back into playing that a little bit more. But there's actually one stream that I read about that was pretty fun, and it's not for Dota, it's for League of Legends. And the whole point of the stream is that it abuses the ranking system. Basically, every single match you play, blaze it up, every single match you play, if you win, you get a certain amount of points, and if you lose, you get a certain amount of points, unless you get beaten by people like outside of your, or still within your skill, then you might lose points if you lose. So it's basically just a way of trying to make sure that everybody who's playing against each other is on the same skill level. And I've actually been thinking about doing the math with it, because I know that Magic the Gathering uses a similar system to rank players and to determine who to invite to all of their invitational events. But the point of all that was there's actually a stream for League of Legends, and it's called Salty Teemo, and all it is they found players who have an ELO, is what they call their ranking system, and so they found players all of which have an ELO of about 400, and they just put their streams up. Your starting ELO in that game, I believe, is 1,000. So it isn't even people who have just lost once or twice, it's people who have lost continuously. So all it winds up being is just this wonderful display of terrible decision making, along with flaming. There's a lot of blaming, a lot of blaming the heroes and the mechanics over the actual plays. It's a wonderful place. It really is. But I don't know. It was interesting to watch something that was a MOBA that wasn't Dota, just because I am not at all used to other systems and mechanics. Like, it's interesting to try and figure out from an observer standpoint, but I don't think that I learned very much. Like, oh yeah, Frog Monster. Frog Monster has the ability, there, proof of concept. Frog Monster has the ability to shoot mine things that do something, and that bar seems to be moving. I actually thought it could be a lot of fun to record one of those as it's going on live and cast it, because I have knowledge of MOBAs, but not specifically League of Legends. So I could tell if someone's being stunned, I could tell if someone's being aggressive. I think that I could call out, decent fights, basic good maneuver, bad maneuver, but when it comes to any items or any characters, I'd just be like, he did the thing, and the thing was good. He should have did the thing more. If they did the thing a lot, run past this guy, by the way. So close to the edge of glory. If he did the thing more, then their team would have won. That's called strategery. I think that it could be really fun to do that, but probably not for a little bit. I've got Dark Souls to finish up, and I've got the holidays coming up, and I've got work, so it'd take a while. Now, these giant moonlight butterflies will never aggro on you unless you attack them first, so don't be that guy. Okay, so this is a developer note. You can tell by the fact that you cannot up or down vote it. And it's basically telling you that there is a path ahead, and you can tell the path by these tiny little snowflakes. If you're on 360p, I'm sorry, you don't get a path. Then they draw it out for you. That would actually be pretty amusing. Like, sorry, your resolution isn't good enough to win the game. Here you go, please cheat. Oh, this one's stronger than the others. This could be a problem. Okay, so let's not overestimate ourselves and go all fancy two-handed. We actually need to plan how we're going to kill this dude. And that's not it. But we've got a kind of a low ground advantage, again, like with the gargoyles, where he makes large sweeping moves, and we are able to block those relatively easily. Well, not block, but dodge underneath. So the way forward is where that note is, and we're actually going to go down and turn around immediately, because there's crystal lizards. The lovable little scamps. There we go. And that's most of the chunk farming that we'll need to do here. But now comes the dickish part, because we have a bridge. And this bridge, you can see where the arrows fall. Oh man. It has been so long since I've gone for this one. Nope. Do not have that. Okay, looks like I've got a little bit of room here. So all that I'm doing here is seeing if the bolts stick in the ground. If they stick in the ground, then I should be safe-ish to walk forward. It's the same concept as using the prism stones, except for I have a lot more of these bolts. So this, I believe, forms a Z-like pattern. I'm just hoping, I've seen some dodgy rolling for my character before, so I'm hoping that he does not take this time to act up, because that would be incredibly poor timing. But I think we just have one more 90-degree turn to look out for. We're still hitting solid ground. Still hitting... I saw it go in, but I have no idea how wide or anything of this path, so it's better just to be super duper sure. Alright, and then I think from here on out it's a straight shot. But don't quote me on that. Nope, it's not. I'm so good at this game, guys. I'm so good at it. Oh, I want to get it, but I don't want to waste everybody's time watching me die and shoot bolts. But we'll give it another go. This time I'll just show the actual boss run for it, which it seems a shame, being so close to the boss, to just skip him. But I think we've got the fire crossbow. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to kill him. Is it bad to kill bosses out of convenience? So yeah, basically all you want to do is run down here. You want to roll or run past the guy who's over there. In our case, run. And then you're basically home free. As long as you've taken out the golem that we already took out. So last time I took that hidden path to be fancy. This time I'll take the normal visible path just to prove that you really can. And then boop, boop, and ninja flips for style, just to get all of those out of our system before we get onto invisible walkways. Alright. I actually really just want to try doing it once for style, of like not stopping and seeing if I can get to the slab. But again, I don't feel like wasting everyone's time, but I do feel like amusing myself. I have failed an awful lot in this area, so one last act of failure wouldn't be hurting anyone. Alright. So what did we learn from last time? Learn that it goes forward, and then it goes a little bit this way. Yep, and then it goes a little bit more this way. Alright. Alright. Nope. Alright. I'll come back for that guy. I don't even know if I cared that much about getting it plus 10. You know, I'm just too cool for it. But, you know, what the hell? Let's... No, I feel like being able to farm. Alright, so now we've lost all of our souls, there's no reason for us to worry about picking up the lost ones, so there's an excuse. So we're warping back to Firelink so that way we can go down to New Londo, so that way we can unfloodify it. And what this will let us do is farm for Titanite chunks, and that will let us get our Lightning Evelyn up to plus, I guess, plus 4. Plus 5, we get another slab. So, let's shoot for that. I think there actually might be a blue Titanite slab in the DLC as well, but I'm not 100% on that. If there is, I might just go for that one. Oh, and out of curiosity, and clear those. Out of curiosity, we picked up 8 blue Titanite chunks, so actually we don't need to farm hardly any of them. We can just pick up 1 after we kill Seath, and then I think we're good. Okay, so the trick with here... yeah, it's not this guy. It is, in fact, this guy. He has transient curses. Alright, and I'm going to equip some physical damage protection and the covetous gold serpent ring. And the reason why I'm switching off my Havel set and quick rolls, maybe, yeah. Is that a quick roll still? I can't tell, honestly. No, it is most definitely not. If I do this, it will be. There we go. And let's see, can we get away with it? It'd be a quarter of 75, give or take, so nah. I'll just stick with this. Okay, so the reason why you want to use the covetous gold serpent ring is because these ghosts will drop transient curses upon their death. So, if I could do literally like 10 more damage, that would just be perfect. So basically, I always find it reassuring to know that I have the ability to farm up transient curses. That way I'm making virtual monies instead of losing it, basically. So let's do it with no weapons. Haha, that's a smart idea. I'm just going to see if the magic crossbow will fare any better. Although, I doubt it, considering that its base damage is a little bit lower. Oh, and actually we switched off of Havel's just to... Actually, yeah, if this doesn't kill them in one shot, I might just switch back to Havel's, so that way I can have light rolls with the, yeah, and it's not going to. Light rolls with his Zweihander, I was figuring that because I wasn't going to be using the dark wood grain ring, that it actually wouldn't be that important. But looking at it now, that's probably a mistake. So let's go ahead and switch that back. Switch this over to this. That gives us all the rolling speed that we need. It's so weird to see that after the ninja flip, where it's like, wow, that does look fast. So this is a trap. Avoid that. And now we've got them just where we want them. I forget which general. I was just reading an article about it. But there was one guy who made the quote, "They have us surrounded. Those poor bastards." Yeah, come back here. We're just going to chill. We're going to have a party. I'll bring the Patron, baby. I can drink all night long with my fine ghost ladies. Ow. You bitch! I was offering you fine liquors. So as you can see, we've already well made up for, any transient curses that we've used. So that way this run is, doesn't matter if it fails, which is all I was going for. Now, I always get the parrying dagger, and I never know why. I never use it, and there's a ghost in that wall. But that is what Lautrec used, but we didn't get to see that because I kicked his butt off a cliff. So, yeah. I was just going to say, so he got to live with it, but he didn't get to live with it. I killed him. In cold blood. And I don't go for any of the gubbins around here, just because there are ghosts underneath the walkway. It makes things a little bit more complicated. Then in this area, this is the one area where everything kind of goes to hell, because there are a ton of ghosts just about everywhere. And this one is a special one in that she has additional attacks and additional health. But, oops, yep, I got grabbed. So this could end really poorly here. Let's just try and roll our way out of this. Plus 4 Estus, going to come and save the day. Get to see that sweet Zweihander post-roll animation. Let's go ahead and heal up again. I think that we've got a few of them now, so this... Oh, if I could ever get a hit off, there we go. I'd take out quite a few of them. By the way, the same trick that I was talking about with the Homeward Bone also applies to the Transient Curse, and I'm usually pretty paranoid about that, but our duration probably wasn't going to be wearing out in that time span. So I believe there's one left up here. I can hear something going on, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's probably another ghost, but we'll see. Yeah, as soon as this item becomes usable again, the buff has stopped. So keep that in mind when you're running through this area. You could be meticulous and keep a timer, but don't. Alright, and this guy is actually super duper nice, because he can have a curse broken on you, which is, he's one of the only people that can do that. Well, strike that. He is the only person that can do that. You can also buy purging stones to remove curses, but other than that, if you don't have access to him, don't have a purging stone, you're out of luck and at half health. And the female merchant by the Capper Demon and the sewers, she is able to sell them to you, I believe at a significant price, or you can grind them out by Seath, and I'm sure that I will point that out. That was awesome timing. I'm sure that I'll point that out when I get there. Just saying, like, hey, grind these guys, because I've had it happen a few times where I've had to run back to the Crystal Archives explicitly for that purpose. So, you could go, let's see. Yeah, you could go out this way, which would take you forward, but very important to do is to come down here and pick up this item. And you need that for exactly one spot in the game, and you guessed it, it is against Seath. So it's actually very wise to stop here first. I'm glad that I didn't fight him, because getting cursed could have been a bit of a pain. I like my body. Alright, and then this place, I think this is a green shard, but eventually chunks start becoming regular drops, so we're going to see that starting up in a little bit. And I actually picked up, well, I'll get to that when I get to it. Is it, there's somewhere up, no, it's not up here. That's something I don't care about. I don't remember what it is, I just know I don't care. I think that there is another crossbow in this area. And I think that it is overlooking the dragons. So actually, yeah, it would be right up these little parapet things? Maybe? Oh yeah, so maybe it is just up the stairs here. I know it's somewhere that I don't usually venture to, just because I feel like I have no reason. But I'll go ahead and we'll take the little scenic path up here. And then you come through here, and you can see the Valley of the Drakes guarding their treasures. And then, oh, it's a composite bow. Okay, so not a crossbow. Pfft, why did I waste my time? Alright, so now the seal has been broken, which means that every 5 minutes from now I'm going to have to go and break the seal again. That's a party joke for anyone who hasn't partied hard in their life, for which I am sorry. And because we're going to be using this half as exploration and half to farm chunks, keeping this ring on is absolutely fine. So, congratulations, you've made it to New Londo. What are you gonna do first? Get stabbed by a dark wraith? So these guys are actually not that bad. We don't need the transient curses anymore, fortunately. Basically, their attacks can deal a huge amount of stamina. That shield is functionally unbreakable. And they drop chunks. So if you can get a backstab or a parry, if you have the skills, either way works. You can deal with them without much trouble and do a farming run. So this is actually going to be the backwards second half of my usual run. Because this guy is usually the second to last knight that I will fight. I'll point out when I get there, I guess. I'll just keep narrating past where I am. So do a little circle dance with this guy. Get him taken out. Hover over the body, just in case. And then we can open this up. And kind of want to run out a few feet and then just retreat back, because there's going to be a big old baddie coming. There is a dark wraith on the right, and there's another one that can sneak up from the left if you run out too far. And as fine as these guys are to take on, fighting two of them becomes slightly difficult. So you do want to avoid putting yourself in that position. So there we go, proof of concept, you can get chunks. So let's kite out this guy. And I say kite out, and then I'm just like, or just run up right behind him and backstab him. But this is the real, not the real threat, but the real kind of reason that you want to be a little bit cautious in this area. This is, I think it's a soul mass, and it releases those wisps that explode. And it also has, as you saw, that little spear attack. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it out from range as much as we can, as much as it will let us. I'm not sure if fire does additional damage, but it's doing alright. Let's see if we switch bolts here. Not much of a difference. But yeah, that spear can be a little bit nasty. The explosions, you know, make things a little bit trickier to manage. But all in all, those guys aren't too bad. So let's trigger and run. And then I believe it's on this side is what we came all this way for. This shining object on the ground. Just kidding. We are not here for a soul of brave warrior, nor are we here for the souls of the bravest warriors. You can actually continue your ascent. Oh, and actually, this doesn't help us at all. This isn't what we came here for. We're just here for chunks. Usually I'm like, I get here and I'm like, yes! Things are about to be amazing! Oh, this is that chest that I saw earlier. That's very cool. Very large ember. So that will allow you to plus 15 your weapons. which is the final upgrade to it. And I think, yeah, you can do that without dying. Probably something I could have researched more, but death, whatever. Alright, so this door is the halfway point because the area that is... Okay, I'll kill this guy first. Okay, so right up there, kind of where the camera's centered, is actually where we entered this area. So you can drop down right there, take out that guy, run this path that I'm doing now, and then run backwards through the other path. And that is an illusory wall, illusory, fake, invisible, not real. And there's another Dark Wraith in there, so most of the time you just want to aggro him out here, kill him, take any stuff he leaves behind, and then loot this chest if you have not already, because it contains, I believe, a chunk. Now there are a lot of Dark Wraiths that I do not farm because they're in this building, and the reason why is because of the ghosts. They add in a few more, and it requires transient curses to be able to deal with them. And just like it was the case with Seath, we're not going to be taking on the boss despite having gone 95% of the way over, because this time we have a better excuse. This time we need to kill Seath first in order to pick, or not Seath, Sif, to pick up the ring that he has. So we actually cannot complete this as we are right now. So let's just go ahead and draw out hopefully just one of them. And then that should take care of this one. I think that I'm just going to keep doing this until I'm able to get the Avalon up to plus 15. Yep, there he comes. Or plus 14, I guess would be the case. I'm going to go ahead and do that before the next part, and then we'll do a little bit of showcasing of that, and we will start on our quest to get the Lord Souls. So, I think that takes care of everyone. And this is the point where you should either stock up on the Homeward Miracle or Homeward Bones. So yeah, you just start at Firelink, you go down that elevator, and there's, a little cliff that you can jump off, and that takes you right there. So, as soon as it gets back to Firelink, I'm going to call this one. So there we go. So currently the Avalon is at plus 0. So I will see you guys back when we're at plus 14. How does that sound?